Hey everyone! Big update in the wizarding world. The upcoming Harry Potter TV series on HBO is stirring up serious casting chatter. We're digging into the biggest characters not yet officially confirmed, the leaks, the fan theories, and who might snag the roles. If you're into this, hit like, subscribe. Let's roll. So first up, the role of Lord Voldemort and his earlier identity as Tom Riddle remains unannounced in any official capacity. We've seen multiple sources pointing out that the production is keeping quiet about the casting for the main villain. For example, one article notes, Voldemort has allegedly been cast as well, but will reportedly be kept a secret until episodes air. Now moving to fan speculation. Many are placing Tom Hiddleston at the top of their wish lists for Voldemort. They argue he has the charisma and villainous gravitas that the role demands. Others mention Cillian Murphy or Paul Bettany, but Murphy officially denied. Paul Bettany could be a dark horse, someone with less blockbuster baggage but high acting chops. What I find interesting here is the subtle hint that auditioning may have been open to men and women for the role, which has sparked debates, though I won't lean heavily into the gender swap speculation. My take is that they'll announce a major name for Voldemort, and Tom Hiddleston is very plausible. If not him, I expect they'll pick someone slightly less iconic but still recognizable to avoid overshadowing the younger leads. The reveal may be timed very late in the marketing cycle to maximize surprise. As for young Tom Riddle, the actor at the heart of the rumor is Owen Cooper, the young British star and historical Primetime Emmy winner for his debut performance in the 2025 miniseries Adolescence. Fans strongly advocate for Cooper due to his perfect age, around 16 when filming starts, and his proven, chilling capability to portray the necessary duality of charm and hidden malice. His previous critically lauded role demonstrated an ability to navigate the complex line between innocence and danger, making him an ideal fit for the charismatic young Slytherin. However, despite the widespread discussion and fan enthusiasm originating on platforms like Reddit, the suggestion remains purely fan casting with no official confirmation from Warner Bros. Next, let's talk about Sirius Black, a fan favorite who hasn't yet had an official casting announcement. The leaks haven't confirmed anyone, but the chatter is growing. Since the show is expected to expand the Marauders and Order backstories, Sirius potentially becomes a much more central figure than he was early in the films. Among fans, the name Ben Barnes comes up a lot. People believe his mix of charm, maturity, and underlying darkness suits Sirius's arc. Some also suggest Robert Sheehan for a more rebellious energy. I predict they'll cast Sirius by the time the show prepares for Season 3, the book Prisoner of Azkaban, and that they will pick someone in his mid-30s to early 40s who can carry mentor figure weight but still feel edgy. If I had to pick one, I lean toward Ben Barnes for this. Now digging deeper, the casting for both Remus Lupin and Peter Pettigrew remains in very rumor-only territory. Neither has a confirmed actor attached publicly. Because the series reportedly plans one book per season and possibly expanded flashback arcs, Lupin and Pettigrew could appear earlier and more substantially than fans expect. For Lupin, the challenge is to find an actor who can portray warmth, trauma, wolf curse, mentorship, and later maturity. For Pettigrew, it's about subtlety, betrayal, and transformation. An actor who can evolve from friend to rat to villain. I suspect Lupin will be cast with an actor in his early 40s who can do both teacher and older mentor vibes. I'm leaning towards someone like Arthur Darvill if we stick with familiar names. For Pettigrew, I suspect the show will choose a promising young actor, 20s to 30s, who isn't yet a marquee name, so his arc unfolds with fresh discovery for viewers. I expect announcements for these will come together as part of a bigger Marauders arc casting wave. Paul Dano is mentioned in some circles, though less frequently, the idea being someone with acting depth rather than star power. The Weasley family is a crucial pillar for the series, but several key members still lack public cast reveals. Specifically, Bill Weasley, the eldest brother, Charlie Weasley, the dragon handler, and Arthur Weasley, the father, are yet to have officially confirmed actors that have been broadly reported. Given the longer format of the show, the producers seem poised to give these characters more room than the films did. In fan talk, Bill is often envisioned as someone with a war veteran edge combined with charm. Charlie as a younger physical presence with action chops. Arthur as warm, fatherly, but curious about the Muggle world. So his actor needs a gentle but grounded presence. My prediction is Bill will be cast with an actor in his late 20s to early 30s who looks like he could plausibly be Ron's older brother and has enough gravitas to later become a war hero. Luke Evans is a frequent fan pick and fits that profile. Charlie will likely go to someone younger, mid-20s, with a more dynamic physicality. I lean toward a rising young British actor rather than an already big name. Aaron Taylor Johnson is occasionally floated, though fewer fans mention him. For Arthur, I expect a seasoned British actor in his 50s to 60s with warm but authoritative presence. Mark Addy is often mentioned and seems a realistic fit. The producers may announce Bill and Charlie together to signal the Weasley family unit. Let's shift focus to James and Lily Potter, the parents whose legacy looms over the story. While their screen time might be limited in the early seasons, the TV format allows for flashbacks and deeper backstory, so getting them right matters. As of now, no high-profile official casting announcement for them has been widely reported in the public domain. In fan discussion, Lily is often expected to be played by an actress with emotional depth and natural chemistry with the James actor. James is expected to be heroic, charismatic, with a ton of unseen history. There's also expectation of physical resemblance to Harry for the family connection, which adds a layer of casting pressure. My take is that they'll cast James with an actor in his early 30s who offers a strong physical presence and acting credibility. Someone like Jonah Hauer-King gets fan mentions and might fit. For Lily, they'll likely choose an actress similarly aged, with a strong emotional range and perhaps lesser known so as not to overshadow the main trio. Many fans mention Emily Carey, though, point out she may be a little on the younger side compared to the canonical age. Still, she's often floated. I expect the announcement for James and Lily will come closer to when the show begins production for the seasons that cover flashback-heavy storylines, likely seasons 4 to 5, rather than in the earliest batches of casting. Next up is a group of characters that often don't receive the same casting spotlight, but in this series they could matter a lot. Hogwarts ghosts like Nearly Headless Nick, the Grey Lady, the Bloody Baron, and Fat Friar. So far, none of these roles have been publicly claimed in a major leak or confirmed announcement. What stands out in the fandom is a belief that the show will give more breathing room to Hogwarts' architectural and mythic layers, the ghosts and their stories. That means these characters might have more screen presence than in the films, so we can expect thoughtful casting. I expect the producers will choose familiar British actors who aren't blockbuster stars, but whose faces and voices ring immediate recognition. For example, rarely used veteran actors might be tapped so that the ghost characters feel distinctive but don't distract. I suspect the announcements for these latent roles will come later in the campaign to maintain momentum. For instance, I could see Nearly Headless Nick being played by someone like Alan Cumming for his comedic spooky tone, or similar. Grey Lady might go to an actress with depth and gravitas. Some fans throw out Daisy Edgar-Jones as a dream pick, imagining she could bring the right mix of melancholy and sadness. Now let's dig into two characters that often fly under the radar in casting conversation but actually carry substantial narrative weight. Gilderoy Lockhart and Cedric Diggory. Lockhart, of Chamber of Secrets, is flamboyantly overconfident, comedic, yet carries hidden darkness. Cedric, of Goblet of Fire, represents the tragic hero archetype whose resonance lingers. Neither has been officially cast as of public-wide release. In fan forums, Lockhart's casting brings up talk of actors who can do comedy and villainy. Cedric's casting brings talk of young actors who can carry heroic screen presence and later emotional impact. The expectation among fans is that the series might expand their roles and emotional arcs more than the films did. For Lockhart, I predict the show will pick an actor in his 30s to 40s known for comedic or charismatic roles. Someone like Sam Claflin or Jonathan Bailey gets frequently mentioned. For Cedric, I expect a younger actor, late teens to early 20s, likely lesser known, so that the character becomes a fresh discovery for viewers. Louis Partridge is mentioned in fan circles as the ideal emerging young British actor who could bring the right mix of charisma and vulnerability. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cedric casting announcement comes just before production of Season 4, the book that introduces him. Now for the roles that are voice or creature-based. Dobby the House Elf, the Sorting Hat. These have less visual casting pressure, but in a series that promises depth, one book per season, voice roles might carry more weight than before. So far, public announcements for these roles are thin or non-existent. Fans are speculating whether the show will sign a celebrity voice cameo for Dobby or just go with a seasoned voice actor, and whether the Sorting Hat voice will be a big name. The key with these roles is that a strong voice performance elevates the magical world without pulling attention away from human leads. I predict Dobby's voice actor will be a recognized but not headline-grabbing "we know the voice actor," someone with emotional range and warmth. Maybe someone like Billy Boyd, which is often mentioned, or a parallel actor with charm. For the Sorting Hat, I foresee a veteran voice actor or a known actor doing voice cameo. Maybe Stephen Fry is even floated by fans. These announcements might come later, maybe as part of a marketing push closer to season release. So that's where things stand. Major roles still unfilled, publicly, rumors flying, fan theories wild. If the show nails this casting, fresh actors who honor the source material but aren't just imitations, we could be looking at the best adaptation of the Wizarding world yet. If they botch it, rush casting, mismatched actors, ignoring fan concerns without explanation, then the first season will take heavy scrutiny. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to stay posted when each new casting announcement drops, and drop in the comments. Which character's casting are you most excited or worried about? I'll catch you next time in the Wizarding world. Peace.